Welcome back to the channel, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here. Today we're going to talk about something that I feel like is going to be the most random video I've ever made, or it's going to be like super hateful. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a hater. Liar! I'm just talking about this video because it's like, Booktube is an echo chamber, sort of. I just wanted to talk about it. I got 4 things I just want to talk about. And of course, people can tell me I'm wrong. That's perfectly fine. I just thought about this the other day. I was like, you know, let's just make a video. I haven't made a hot take video in a while. So let's do something else. I'm not a hater on Booktube, but I love the Booktube community. It just feels like sometimes it's an echo chamber on things. I'm just saying. There's science. There's science. So let's get into the nitty gritty of this. So number 1 on this, pretty clear. We all read the same books. A lot of people I always seen, everyone like talks bad about like booktok. Everyone's like, booktok, they're all reading the same books. All you see is the same exact books. But it's like, so are we. We essentially, as booktubers, a lot of us read the same exact books. And what happens is, it's like, we'll say the Stormlight Archive. We'll just say that one, for example, is when one of those books picks up, if one booktuber reads it and they really did like it and they get a lot of clicks and views for it, usually it trickles and it just swarms. Everyone ends up reading it, and if you don't read it, you get that FOMO of wanting to read it. And there's like a whole list of books that have generated this kind of popularity and wanting you to read it, needing you to read it. And that's what I've always saw when I would go on YouTube. Before I even started a YouTube channel, I would see this. I saw it with the Stormlight Archive, I saw it with the Kingkiller Chronicle, I saw it with the First Law, I saw it with Wheel of Time, Empire of the Vampire, the Jade Light series. I saw it with so many things. I even saw it now with like the Will of the Many. You just see so many people are like, we need to read these books. You need to read this book. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want to. But the problem is, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, maybe I should read this because everyone else is reading it and they all say it's really good. I should. And then what happens is I feel like it just dilutes your whole YouTube channel, your videos, because all you see is just the same exact books getting talked about, and it's the same exact reviews, same exact everything, and it's really hard to want to read that book. But it's also like, man, if I don't read this book, I'm not in that inner circle. It's one of those things, it's like when you're in school and you see all the cool kids and they're all doing this trend and you're just like the weird emo guy and you're just like, I could do that, but I don't want to. Maybe I'm talking about my own experience there. But this is actually the reason why I wanted to do this video, is because I feel like everyone reads the same exact book at the same time. Number 2 on this is we can never disagree on that book. I feel like as a community, when people read these kind of books, these very hyped up books that are just growing, is you can't disagree with the book. Now, what I mean is we can't really disagree with the crowd. Now, when I say that, I mean like, if I didn't like the Greenbone Saga, because I haven't read it, but it got really pushed a lot on Booktube. But say if I did read it and I didn't like it, you'd actually feel like you're getting attacked by everyone because you didn't like it. And that's the thing. I feel like it's like a mob mentality, is like, because it's like that echo chamber, so everyone is in groups with it where everyone's like, oh boy, this book was really good, we all love this book, we all loved it, we loved it. But you have one person that's like, I don't think it was very good. You get attacked. And I have that plenty of times, because there's times where I've read a lot of these popular books, I'm just like, really? Like, I read the Stormlight Archive and I just don't see the hype behind it. I read the whole entire Wheel of Time series, and I don't think you should read the whole thing because I just don't think it's worth it. I read the First Law trilogy and there's like nothing that really happens in that series besides just good characters. There's no really plot to it, which I don't think is a bad thing, but for me, I kind of want a little bit of plot, especially for 3 books. And I read Fourth Wing. God forbid I read that series. I could talk about that terrible series. I read, Agatar. I read a lot of these hyped up books because I myself wanted to know why. And there was a little bit of me that was always like, well, maybe I shouldn't disagree with people. Maybe I just read the book wrong. Maybe I read the book upside down and that's why I didn't like it. I don't know. But the fear of wanting to disagree with people is always so strong, so you just nod along. You're like, yeah, you're right. But to me, I feel like that's a wrong way to doing it. I feel like if you don't like a book or a book series, you should just be open and tell people why you don't like it. And maybe it does affect that you won't get new you won't get advanced reader copies or anything. Like, you won't get any arcs or anything like that from the author or the publisher because you didn't like their other book, which is probably a thing. I wouldn't know. I don't get advanced reader copies like that. But I feel like being honest is going to be better. And I just think if you're going to be truthful and you disagree with some things on the book, it's perfectly fine to do that. I see no issue with it. Like, I have disagreed. I have DNF'd the Stormlight Archive series because I will never, ever finish that series. I DNF'd book 4 because I thought book 3 was super long and not very good, and I thought book 4 was also just the same exact thing, and I'm not reading book 5 because I just know. So to me, that's kind of how I look at it, is I think it's okay to disagree with the entire agreement of this book or series. I will never ever, and I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, I do this on purpose. I don't. If I like a book, I actually really like a book, but if I just don't see the hype behind it, I'm probably just gonna be honest and tell you guys, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this book or book series. I will always stand on that. And that's just how I look at it. Number 3 on this list, we forget about the book and move on to the next best thing. This is something I see a lot, and this is another reason why I wanted to make the video, is I feel, to me, it's like when the hype of a book is there, everyone talks about it, right? It's a trend. Everyone talks about this trend. Everyone has to hype on this trend. And then the moment this book is not cool anymore, people move on, and it feels like people don't remember anything what happened in that book. Maybe our attention spans are just shot from just TikTok and just all the short form content, and I think how a lot of books are written now, maybe our attention spans are just so shot that we just don't remember anything. Now, am I gonna sit there and say I remember every single thing I've read? No, I clearly haven't. Like, there's books I read 10 years ago and I don't remember. There's books I read 3 years ago that I just don't remember. But the ones that I say, oh, this book is amazing, this is a 5-star read, those are near and dear to my heart, and I will always remember those. And I feel like when people read these books and give it a 5-star, they actually don't remember what happens, because you see videos of them talking about the books and how they beat around the bush because they can't actually remember everything that happened in the said book, and they read it 2 weeks ago. It says a lot that they just read it just to get these quick views. And to me, it's like, why why read a book if you can't remember anything? Like, one of the books I always talk about is always like Catcher in the Rye. I always talk about, I'm a big advocate for like The Road, and I can remember these characters. Granted, The Road is pretty easy. It's just called The Man and the Boy, though that's probably the easiest characters to remember. But when I try to read, I try to remember the characters. I try to remember at least the plot. But it feels like when people read these hyped up books, they kind of forget after like 2 or 3 weeks and move on to whatever's the next best thing. Like, for me, I haven't read the Sun Eater series. I think it's called the Sun Eater series from Christopher Rocchio. I haven't read those yet. And that was super hyped last year, and I'm glad. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and hate that these authors are getting a lot of views and stuff. I think it's awesome, but it also just, for like the booktube part, it's kind of just like, dang, are people actually reading these books, or they're just hopping on that train? And to me, when I see like the Sun Eater series, I want to read it, but I also don't, because it's like, what if I don't like it? You know, like, and I don't want to make a video about how I don't like the series, because everyone around me who I watch love it. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. I'm gonna just wait until the series is done, which it's supposed to be done. So maybe in the new year I'll dip my toes into it. Number 4 on this list, this one is kind of what I've been talking about throughout, sprinkling throughout this whole video, is we are not reading for enjoyment, we are reading for engagement. When I think a book does pop off, when a book series does pop off and it does become pretty popular, I think people read it for that engagement. They read it to get those views, those clicks, more than actually just enjoying the book. And that's why I'm saying from the previous part is that people will read these books and they kind of forget what happens and move on because they have to find the next most popular book. So when I say people are reading for engagement more than enjoyment, I think that's actually a real thing. I think people do that quite a bit on Booktube and BookTok, or on Instagram, or on Facebook, just whatever. I think people are, I need to read this book so I can get more views, more clicks, and possibly make some money. Now you can argue, Zach, that's what you're doing right now. You are purposely making a video calling Booktube an echo chamber, and you are trying to get those clicks, trying to get those views. I mean, you're correct in some ways. I am making this video so I can get engagement, so I can get views, but I also just want to make this video and talk about it. I could care less if I had 1 subscriber and this gets 10 views. I just want to talk about these things because it's just what I want to talk about. It's my channel. And that's what I'm doing with this, is why I believe that Booktube is an echo chamber. I'm waiting. Like right now, I think the most popular book series that I keep hearing about is, well, Dungeon Crawler Carl, I think, DCC. I think that's how people call it. That series, super popular. Everyone reads it, and To me, I have no interest in reading it. I heard the premise, no interest in reading it at all. I will not read it because I just don't really find it entertaining. It doesn't look entertaining. I don't like video game books that much, so I'm like, no, I'm not gonna read that. Which is perfectly fine. I don't have to read it. I can read whatever I want because that's just me. Now, I could go on my way to read this series to get views and clicks, but I won't. I want to read whatever. Like, I read Ghost Story from Peter Schraub like 3 weeks ago. I don't expect that to get a ton of views because it's a book that came out in the 70s. It's 50 years old, but I enjoy the book. And I think I just truly believe a lot of people are reading for engagement more than enjoyment, and the whole point of reading is to enjoy whatever. Now, if you are enjoying these books, that's perfectly fine. I'm not hating on it. I'm just pointing out things that I've noticed in this echo chamber we're in. And I'm not saying it's a bad echo chamber, because I don't know, I just don't think you should be in an echo chamber because it makes it so you guys all will focus and get the same exact opinions, same exact views on books and everything like that, and I just don't think it's really good. And that's just how I looked at it. So we're gonna do some final thoughts here. As I said just a few moments ago about echo chambers, is I think echo chambers is like a safe little cushion where you don't ever want to leave because you feel safe. You feel like, oh, everyone else agrees with me. But the moment you disagree with the echo chamber, the pitchforks come out, and that's where I'm just like, you know, it's okay to disagree with people. It's okay if you read the Stormlight Archive and you didn't like it. You read Mistborn and you didn't like it. You read First Law and you didn't like it. It's okay to not like these books that everyone else has liked. It's okay to not like One Piece. One Piece had this hype train for a hot minute on Booktube, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm a big fan of the big three. I love Naruto and I love Bleach, so I was like, I have to read or watch One Piece anyways, so then I can give a full opinion of which one I like the most. And I didn't even finish One Piece because I just thought One Piece was super mid. I just didn't understand the hype behind it. I still don't. And I read almost 400 chapters of that, and I just did not get the hype. And to me, a little bit, maybe people read it to get those clicks and views. That's just me. That's just me. I'm just saying. You can disagree with me all you want. Like, I bought The Will of the Many because everyone talked about how hyped that book is. I still have not read it. I'm staring at it right now. It's just been on my shelf since I bought it. I bought it brand new, and it's just been there. And the moment I bought it, that was like the last book I bought where it was like people hyped up, and that's when I sat there and thought, I'm like, I gotta stop doing this. And it's just been sitting there collecting dust because I still haven't read it. Will I ever read it? Maybe when the series is done, I'll read it. But in general, though, I feel like it's okay to find your little safe spots to agree on books, but I also think it's okay to challenge one another on having disagreements. That's how I look at it. I want people to read whatever, but I want people to comment on this video and say, you know, Zach, I disagree with you saying that the Stormlight Archive is hyped, or I disagree that you think the First Law is not the greatest. I want people like that. I'm perfectly content when people make videos and disagree with me. I'm perfectly content with disagreement because I want people to talk. I want us to talk about why my opinion might not be so accurate to this said book or this said series or even this video. People can disagree and say it's not an echo chamber. I want those kind of things because I think it's really good to have those kind of conversations. That's just how I've always been looking at it, and that's how I'll never change about it. But I decided to make this video because I thought it'd be kind of fun. And maybe people are going to say this is for clicks and engagement. Sure. Oh well. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Do you guys agree that Booktube is an echo chamber, or do you disagree with me? I would love to know down below. And do you think any of these books I mentioned that were a little overhyped that people just don't really talk about anymore? Let me know also down below. I just want to know. I'm just here. I'm just a man with a mic and Wi-Fi, so I just want to talk. But of course, make sure you guys stay safe, stay humble, and to someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe.